Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Instagram podcast. My name is Devin Adams, CEO, and I'm the head coach. I'm determined to inspire. I'm here with two gentlemen right now. We're going to be joined by one more. I feel better, so I'm in a good mood. So I will joke and say we got Big Tree, a.k.a. this, a.k.a. that, St. Patrick's. I did it already anyway. But we're here with Big Tree. Patton wasn't here yesterday. He got busy. We also here with my young boy, Donte. Donte ain't even a young boy no more. He's an old head. Baby's healthy. Donte has been a real one since I've known him since he was 14 or something. So like Donte's been around for a long time. Got his own business, strength and conditioning expert, as I would call him. Make Moves Fitness, right? Or Make Moves what?
Making Moves Fitness.
Making Moves Fitness. Congratulations to him and his new baby. He's gonna send us some pictures. We got to get our hands on that little baby so we can bless him. Like I said, he's in a group life. And yeah, so welcome, Lolo, late as usual. So he'll be on when he gets here. I like to have no expectations on people. That way you keep things safe. I had no expectation of him getting here on time. So everything. Quick recap. Rest in peace to the people that have lost their lives. It was a young lady, like last month, they ran up in her house. Then there was a young man that was jogging, got attacked and filmed and murdered. And then we have this one. We actually saw somebody's breath leave their body, which was not too long ago. So we did a part one on this yesterday where I was by myself on a solo tip, and I talked about briefly. Go back and listen to it because it's only 20 minutes. It's a quick listen. Maybe just take a shower and put it on. But I talked about reality. There's no such thing as reality. If a snake can see things in infrared and a bee can see things ultraviolet, and then a chameleon has an axis eye going this way and going this way, their perceptions of reality are completely different from the rest of the world's. If a bat sees by sonar, or not sonar, by echolocation, they see things differently than us, right? So that's their perception of it, which means there's no identical perception. It's only what God wants us to see as what he created us to become, right? That's why we see things in the spectrum like we see. With all that being said, reality is subjective, extremely subjective. When you think about it like that, going into that, our reality as black men, Donte and Patton, are completely different from the realities of even black women, white women, and white men, and other minorities and people of color. It's not even a slight. It's not a victimization. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? With that, I also share this, and I'm rolling today. I'm rolling. There's only three fundamental truths in this world. It's only three. There's personal truth. There is political truth. And then there's the objective truth. Personal truth, that's how you feel personally. That's something you know, religion, spiritually, where your minds are just fixed on whatever you want to believe in. That's okay. It's no problem. We all have that. Political truth, we all know what that means. Politics behind everything. Oh, I'm better than that, but they got picked over me. Oh, this is what the media is feeding us, but this is what I want us to focus on. The political structures of that, right?
Right. Exactly.
Objective truth, Donte. Objective truth is the most important. Why? Because it is unbiased truth. It is just simple fact that no matter what you say, no matter what you feel, no matter what you've witnessed or accumulated through your evidence of your personal truth, fundamentally is you can't object it. 1 and 1. How many is this now? 2.
So empirical truth. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So you get that. Why did I say all that to say this? We already see what's happening to black men. You can't say we're bait hunting and doing all this type of stuff that I've been seeing online saying, you know, we're saying, see, look what they're doing to us, but they do it to us too. Our lives matter too, right? Your lives do matter, but don't put your personal truth on the things that we know that are objectively going on here. I saw 4 extra videos a day of men like this, and this is bad. Hands behind their head. One dude got kicked in the motherfucking back and then tackled. The cop got his wife and said he was resisting, and we just saw that he wasn't. My man Jalen, you know Jalen, Donte. Shout out to Jalen. Jalen's been going in.
Young boy.
Been posting all this stuff up, Donte, Pat. He posted another video. Somebody's just here getting dragged, hands behind their back, they cuffed, nigga getting punched in the back. It's just like, that's an objective truth. AKA, what did you say, Patton?
What? Empirical?
Empirical truth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We already
can't dispute it.
Yeah, you can't dispute that. Lastly, you're right, Donte. And then I want to go to Donte before I go to Patton, just because I know Donte is, you know, we haven't had him on here. Whoa, is this Donte's first time on the show?
My first time on the show.
Oh my God.
What?
Yo, my bad.
Man, I ain't know that.
Yo, he been around so long. He been in the gym, lifting, helping, training.
Hey, your dad now too, so you know I know how that go, brother.
All of that.
I'm just saying, like, my man Donte. Sorry, welcome, bro. Like,
Appreciate it.
that little stuff matters to me. But here, check this out, okay? It's a book called 47 Hexagram in the I Ching book, okay?
Okay.
And this isn't too deep, but I'm gonna say it really quickly. My man Sandees put me on to this a while ago, and it hit me earlier today. I had a talk with 8 people today. Being crying, frustrated, upset on the phone. Young Ball is a little older than you, Donte. In the Holocaust, the saying was "never again." After the Holocaust, that's what that community said. That was their go-to line: "never again." And if you're sharp, which I know you are, I think I know you're going to see where I'm going with this. And they said they're never going to allow this to happen to us again. The idea, their actions came from that mindset. Get it? Therefore, what is our mindsets with what we're talking about? What are the quotes that we're populating? What are the quotes that we're putting on shirts? Black Lives Matter. And Patton already knows. That's why he was just smirking. Black Lives Matter. I can't breathe. And I love all these quotes. This is our people. We shall overcome. Fight the power. Like I said, my man Sandees went in, and I had the same talk earlier today with that dude. Because he was so distraught. With all that being said, that comes from a place of what? Inferiority complex. Meaning that we think systematically we have people over top of us that we have to be submissive to or fight to get to, or
I knew that's where you was going with that.
yes, and finally, it's oppression didn't do this to us. Oppression didn't do this to us, okay? The experience that we went through changed our mindsets.
Yeah.
Okay, and it formulated a new experience of oppressiveness. I'm not trying to get too deep, but what I am saying is the experience changed our mindsets. And because of that, that's why we've been digging a deeper hole, and they systematically put more dirt on it, more dirt over it. Oof. I wish I had my notes. I don't. I have my calendar. So what y'all see me looking down at is just my calendar. I didn't have my page of notes that I was going in yesterday on. But that was part 1 for the most part. And Donte, real quick, and then we go to Patton. I see how I felt. I'm mental health is shot. I'm exhausted from helping everybody, helping people, talking to other people, my own personal feelings. How are you feeling right now, Donte? What's on your mind real quick, bro?
Out of everything that I've been, seeing, reading, the news is highly fabricated. I don't like watching the news for all my information, so I gotta research and do background. So after reading the stories of the accusations of racism and on the black community, basically saying that a man couldn't walk peacefully through a park without being harassed by a woman who made it clear that she would lie to the police just to get harassed. Like,
I forgot about that.
Fact, I had to sit back and look like one day my son might experience something like this, like walking and being black. Since when was that a crime?
You said it, Don. That was crazy.
Like,
I will tell them he's black.
She literally said it like what that means. Like, why does that have to be a threat in our society? Why does being a black man have to put a target on you? You know how many black lawyers, doctors, politicians, bankers, stockbrokers there are in this world? So to go back to how I'm feeling, of course I'm infuriated because it's literally evident and okay that our people are being put in a genocide. They are trying to kill off the black community. And the thing that angers me most is that we're giving them the fuel to do it.
Oh.
Because we're reacting the wrong way. Instead of reacting mentally and strategically, we're reacting emotionally. When you react off of emotions, you always end up doing something irrational.
Emotions are selfish. We talked about that.
Exactly. And that's what they're banking on, our irrational way of moving. Even if you got talks of, black groups wanting to create private militias because they're angry and they want to go Black Panther, the Black Panther style and protect our community. 100%, I agree that we do need to arm ourselves. but not necessarily with just weapons. If we just arming ourselves for war, they okay with that. They like, we got a whole government to back us. We okay with that. Y'all gonna spend years trying to take us down. If we literally mentally arm ourselves, y'all know the talks that we have about finances and about setting yourself up. Like, my son is set up for the future. He will not have to work when he gets older, but he will, because he's going to understand that a black man has to earn his thing in his lifetime. And it's not just the simple fact of being racist. Like, not even just black in general, minorities in general have a different upbringing. They have a different struggle, because we just got to get it from the muscle. Whether you from the hood, the suburbs, it no matter where you from, as a black man, no matter where your address says, no matter where you grew up, no matter what school you went to, no matter what degree you have, when you step in the building as a black man, they already looking at you with 10 points down just from your skin color. So, and you got to understand the reality that we raising our kids in this, and our younger generation, nephews, cousins, whoever who look up to you and see you, they think, oh, I guess the best and safest way for me to get up is to just be an athlete, or is to just do what I see everyone else doing, which might be hustling, which might be, all the wrong things that they trap us into. Like, even the word trap is exactly what it is. When everybody say, I'm in a trap, I'm trapping, it's exactly where they want you at, in a trap. You're trapped in that lifestyle, in that mindset of negativity and being stagnant, instead of using the individuals around you who you see doing things in a positive way. You think, oh, he's smart. He went to school. He went to college. I got to be like that in order to live that lifestyle. When in reality, all you got to do is say, bro, I need some help. And that's our problem as black men. We don't want to help each other because we so worried about what the next man doing, instead of how can I use the next man. Like, it's a brother on Instagram named Derek Graves. This man has been talking about what's going on right now.
My youngin'
since like 2014. Like, I was a young boy in high school listening to this man.
Yeah.
He has an 8-year-old daughter that's sufficient with like 5 different firearms.
Yeah, that's why I'm like that.
Like, she taught a class. I'm in his course, so I watched this little girl teach wrong.
He got a video game. He got a board game out.
Like, this man is understanding, and he, like, if y'all go back and watch his videos on, he hasn't made them since like 2015, like videos on the importance of gold, the importance of setting your finances up, like all those things is what you do. You use people that know things that you don't have to add value to you, and you take that same information and plant the seed. Just like y'all helping me and Dom, Pat with the bank, the bank talk and everything, and just that allowed me to then change my life and be able to set, my future generation and myself up to not have to rely on the same white man who we complaining about is oppressing us. No one can oppress you if, in this day and age, you can't be oppressed if you not allowing it. We allow them to oppress us because of our ignorance. Our ignorance allows the oppression to continue. So the more we educate, the more we unify, they break it up every chance they get. Any chance they're going to get to break up, it's no reason in hell that the only way that minorities, not even just blacks, the minority community should unify just to attack and be violent. Like Minneapolis, if y'all seen those videos, it was a bunch of different races out there, but they were only out there to send a message that we're going to fight y'all back, instead of, you know what, we're going to fight y'all back, but the right way. We're going to play y'all game, but better.
Yeah.
We already play it better, but it's just not enough of us willing to sacrifice our pride, take the back seat, and be like, okay, I don't know this. So instead of me just giving up and going for what I know, let me try to do my own research. Let me ask the next man who might know something, instead of just being ignorant and stuck in the same place with the same mindset. You got black dudes that literally live blocks away from each other and hate each other for no apparent reason. Just because they live on a numbered street.
That's true.
How stupid is that? When you got,
I'm just laughing because you're going in, so go. I'm laughing because you're going in.
I really been waiting to get this off of my diet. Good.
That's why we got the platform, so people can do that, Jordan, though, for real.
waiting for like a good 2 years. It's
Oh my
just so
God.
much.
You have 2 years of it. Go ahead. You got
It's
2
so much.
minutes to get that 2 years out. Go.
I'm about to sum it up real quick because y'all know how analytical I am. Like I don't just talk. I really analyze. So throughout everything that we've been seeing from Gardner to even back to Trayvon Martin and the racial profiling and the violence in our own community, we put our own selves on the back burner because we don't believe as a people that we can unify. Just like if you understand, it's about 1 million Chinese stores in North Philly. Sometimes it's 2 Chinese stores on the same block.
Yeah.
The reason why is because it's a chain. It's a family. They're one big family. So when they have people that come to this country, they already set up with a business, set up with a way of living, set up with a place to live. Because why? Their community sticks together. And who is their biggest customers?
Come on, we know.
Our community.
Our dollar. Yep.
Our dollar. When we can put that same dollar into black business, into black ownership, into black enterprise, into black Wall Street, into rebuilding our community.
All right.
So it's just the simple fact of mind over matter. Like we can do it as a people, but we don't believe that we can.
can do it as a people, and we don't believe it. I'm not even trying to be too emotional, but to hear you speak so eloquently, and me especially knowing how our first interaction was when you was 14. You know what I'm talking about, or nah?
Are you talking about at practice?
Yeah.
You want me to tell the story? I'll tell it.
Go. You can tell it real quick, and then I'm gonna go to Patton.
Yeah, my first practice, I did not. We was playing shirts against skins, and I was not taking my shirt off. I was the chubby guy, so I was like, nope. There was only 2 chubby guys in there. It was me and Troy.
Shout out to Troy. I talked to him yesterday.
And I was like, yeah, shout out Troy doing this chef thing. Keep rapping, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was like, bro, like nobody cares. And I was like, maybe he's right. And then that was it. I just went hard after that. I just tried to go hard as I could.
He did go hard. He played really hard, but he was upset. He was pissed. That's what he's not telling y'all.
I was heated. I was heated.
I'm like, yo, take your damn shirt off. Like, we have to play. He's about to jump ball, and he's like 14. Like, how old are you now? 20 what?
I'm 24.
24. So this is 10 years ago.
Wow.
10-year-old. I'm like, yo, we got to scrimmage. You on skin. But with all that being said, first of all, shout out to your connection because it's amazing. This dude is outside right now, and he got better service than Patton did. So shout out. Patton, don't give it. Shout out to.
I ain't even on that. I ain't gonna get mad.
All right, number one.
Not this time. I'll get you later though.
I know. I'm sorry. Don't. No, please. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'll get you later.
I haven't felt this bad since Kobe. And remember, Kobe, like, it's hard to weigh those two things, but the emotional impact it had on black men was it was hard.
Yeah. I couldn't watch basketball for 2 weeks.
Nah. Yeah. And then number 3, we talked about that strategy, right? That's what Patton and me was talking about, and that's what we were talking about part 1. But Patton, real quick, because I know you had a whole Zoom yesterday with some young boys. Like, we was going in yesterday. That's why we're so mentally tired. So how are you feeling, Pat, real quick? And, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I'm tired too, and you know, pissed off like everybody else. But I mean, Don pretty much covered he covered every base. But what I'm gonna say for the ignorance, like this is, you know, I'm analyzing this whole thing too.
Yeah.
And the part that I get angry about is like when you talk about the ignorance, us not educating ourselves. We don't understand. The part that angers me the most is we don't understand how powerful that we are as black. And I'm not saying this to exclude any other group, women, white or black, Latin, any other, you know, ethnic group or, you know, gender group, whatever you want to call it. But black men specifically, we don't understand how powerful we are. And I think I'm more angry at that because, like we was talking about before, why is it, see, I'll ask different questions, but why is it that we're being hunted? Nobody else, no other gender, ethnic combination in this country is being hunted and killed like black men. Why is that? Those are the questions that I'm asking.
That was out to the dirt bike that
Oh, yeah, it's all good.
lost on Donte's feet. But go ahead, please continue.
Yeah, no, it's cool. And I mean, that's the stuff that makes me mad. And yes, it's true. Our dollar is what moves the economy, is the most powerful. Yeah, Chinese can come in our hood, open up stores, we're gonna spend it. Latinos come in our hoods, open up.
Go back to that question you said though. Go back to that.
Oh man, that's gonna be all day.
No, I mean, I think that's when it's 3 black men on here. It was 3 co-hosts.
Okay, so why? Why are we being hunted more than
let's be
any other gender, ethnic combination in this country?
I mean, like you said, and that's the thing. I'm gonna go here, Pat. You're not gonna like this. You're not gonna like this. But I did say there's a difference between empathy and sympathy, and Patton, that's what you said too.
It is. It's a huge difference between empathy.
I'm gonna speak for you, Patton, because Patton is. Y'all see Dev, but Dev's always like laughy and stuff. But in meetings, I'm really serious. Patton is really serious. Patton is kind of like serious here. No, Patton's serious like behind the scenes. But I don't know what Patton is. All I'm going to do is I'm going to speak Patton now and know that Patton's been serious behind the scenes, okay? And I do know there's a difference between empathy and sympathy. Empathy means you can put yourself in their shoes. You're trying to do that. Nobody can be empathetic to what it feels like to be a black man hunted.
No, nobody else.
Or saying I can't breathe based off that inferior mindset that they've been systemically putting on us for hundreds of years. Empathy cannot be felt by anybody else.
No.
Therefore, I think the majority of the people that are not black men have to fall back and take another strategic approach of how they want to help.
Absolutely.
And I'm saying that for you, Patton.
100%
You said for me, because you know I'll go in on it, and you know this is what we was talking about before. That like
sympathy is different though. Sympathy. Explain
sympathy. I understand. So that's what you're seeing. Like I got CNN on my TV now, and there's a march in Minneapolis now. There's all white people out there. You know, I got white friends, so I love.
Me too. I had my friends today. Loved them.
So ain't nothing. Yeah, ain't nothing like that. Like I love all my white friends. They near and dear to my heart. I love them more than I love some black people sometimes. But what they're doing is sympathizing.
Sympathy, yes.
And but I don't want it to get misconstrued that because you're sympathizing, that somehow helps the cause. Because in reality, it really doesn't. All that is you're showing that you have a moral compass, which that's fine, that's good. But if you really want to, if your moral compass is accurate enough, then you'll come out of the sympathetic stage and go into the action stage. Now,
okay.
At this point, there's no way to offer suggestions because you can't empathize. So you have to kind of wait until we get organized, let you know how you can help,
bro.
Then you offer your help.
You gotta wait on a black man to get organized.
That's the truth.
That's
the
truth of the matter. Thing because we're not
nowhere near. And it's systemic. So I'm not here to tear down brothers either. I mean, we having these forums, and I'm sure they happening all across the country. Guys are talking.
Podcast, Patton. Come on, bro. It's a podcast.
Yeah. But I'm saying it's happening across the country. So it's the conversations are happening, which I think is good. But collectively, as a group, as the most, and I'll say it and be honest about it, as the most feared.
Look at Donte. He's about to fight somebody. Donte,
pretty much on the planet. Oh, he already mixing my. He good. We ain't even worried about that.
Talking to my lady, I'm good though.
All right, so
you talking to youngin? Oh, okay. We thought you were about to mix out. I'm like, yo, he got chilled.
That's what I'm like. He good. No, but I mean, it has to be fair. Like we have to be fair.
Okay.
And that's a question, and that's where we need to start. Because I've been in groups and commenting on posts all day, and it's like, where do we start? Where are black leaders? Listen, we got to answer some tough questions first. Before we can even get to that point, we got to answer the questions. Why is this being done to us? Educate and understand who we are and why this is being done to us. Then once we understand that,
Yeah.
Then we can move forward on to the next phase because it's like, oh, this is being done because
Bro,
of this.
it's like the Matrix. Which pill you want to take? And guess what? He had to take that pill, and guess where he went back into? You remember the Matrix? Where did he go back into? A whole embryo. And had to get rebirthed,
Yeah,
re-uploaded, Don. Go ahead, Dante. Go. What you want to say real quick?
No, it's just a piggyback. Like,
Crazy.
Why us? Just you said it in itself. It's us because of our ignorance. We don't know the real power that we have as a united functional group because, like you said, these black leaders and so many black leaders and black empowerment and black activists that they aren't for the real community. They're for themselves.
Yeah, because it's
so if we had real black leaders right now, it's no reason that the black way of living that Malcolm X was trying to introduce and creating the real black community where we put our money back into our own community. All he was literally saying was, look, we know the strength of our people. Y'all know the strength of our people. Since y'all don't want us in y'all utopian society, we're going to create our own. And if y'all decide to mess with that society, you will be dealt with. And that's just.
I get it. Listen. I totally understand it. I
get it 1,000,000%.
Dev will tell you. I say it all the time. A combination of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, the Black Panthers, and the Black Wall Street is how you solve this thing.
Boom.
Literally.
All those movements, and it's game over.
That's the recipe.
Yeah.
100%.
Find all those movements, and it's game over.
100%.
But the education has to happen first. We got to answer those questions. Why is this being done? Because that'll give us insight into who we really are. It's too many of us that don't know who we are, how powerful we are,
even where we came.
Happened systemically for hundreds of years.
But this is different, though. This is different than the narrative that they say that we reach to. Who we are, we were kings and queens. This is different than that, though, to me. Because that's
I'm not even talking about that. But yeah.
But what I am saying is we do come from that lineage.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
The fact that we survived the Middle Passage and we still have bloodlines connected to that journey.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You're doing it on purpose.
Open it up. Opening the can.
But for real, on some deep stuff, really think about that.
You're doing that on purpose.
Lines that we have attached.
All right, gloves off. Listen.
Can make me cry right now.
No. Listen.
But as a black man.
No, hell with that. Here's the question. Uh-oh. If I'm in slavery.
Dante.
Okay, here we go.
Would I enslave someone? And this is a question I'm going to ask y'all. I know y'all know the answer to it, but I'm going to ask it anyway because these are the types of questions we got to ask. Am I going to enslave someone that is weaker than me?
But see, you say that. And I want to say, yeah, you could because it's easy to do. Now, is that...
But what benefit does it have?
Is that different than enslavement?
No, it's not even. It's not even. What benefit it has is I'm not going to take your materialistic things. I'm not going to take any of that. I want to take your mind. I'm going to take your body. I'm going to take your soul to make you believe you are beneath me and you can never.
Wait. Pause. Okay, I got you. Perfect. Now, would that be a trait that somebody that's weaker than you wouldn't have to prove that to them? You wouldn't have to brainwash them into believing that because they're already weaker than you. So, in fact, I have to do that to somebody that's stronger than me.
100%. I agree.
I have to do that to somebody who I know can outshine me. I have to rewire their thinking. I have to brainwash them into believing, okay, this is your only way of life.
Wait, it's not even that we were brainwashed as a people. We were broken as a people.
Well, that's what I mean. Right? Yeah, but that systemic, that whole system, that's what I mean. Yeah, you're right.
That mindset was there. We knew who we were. We were a proud people. We knew where we came from. Right. We were okay. They came and saw that it was another group of people that was more technologically advanced, more knowledgeable, more powerful, stronger, more efficient, more effective. And they said, whoa, we need those traits, but we don't need the people.
We need those traits, but we don't need the people.
He on his that movie.
When I say we don't need the people, as in we don't need the people in the way to teach us. We want to take what they already have built.
Got you.
And
okay.
But they do that now with our culture and everything. Sure, on this baby level. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I got you though. That's absolutely right. But I'm saying that in terms of like we're speaking because we know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that to break this down to cats that's young, that have that's on the corner hustling, that's doing this, that think life is about jewelry and raps and all of this stuff. On a very basic level, they need to understand that fundamental principle. Like, know who you are.
What's
Yeah,
that?
And that's the thing. That goes back to what I said in being trapped. So
Sure.
they do know who they are, but they know who they are in the trap. They don't know the capabilities outside that trap that they
That's
had.
what I mean.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I heard a whole sermon on that talking about Egypt, and I think I mentioned this earlier. Moses took his people out of Egypt, right?
Yep.
But some of them wanted to go back because it was 3 square meals. We had shelter.
Yeah, it was comfortable.
It was comfortable.
Some people want to stay in Egypt.
Sure.
100%.
People don't see the vision that he had, and some people don't want to go by that vision. I'm not gonna get too deep because if I do, Patton's just gonna take this and run with it. Because Patton,
Yeah, I ain't gonna do it. But you'll die in Egypt though.
and that's
You're gonna die in Egypt.
But no. Oh man, I lost my point. Because here it is. Donte and Patton. Patton brought this up, and I'm not married. I'm single right now. I don't have any kids. Patton brought this up saying, would you allow some man, a racist man, to walk into your house and just, I don't even want to say the word.
No, say it. Go ahead, say it.
I'm not going to say it. I feel uncomfortable saying it.
Okay, I'll say it.
I'm not going to say it.
So Don, it's speaking to what you're talking about is that being broken and what I'm referring to is that mental conditioning. So we were having a conversation about, what's historically been done to Black people, and then we got into Black women about, how they were raped, how they were humiliated, things like that. And I was talking about the mental conditioning, like they would have us bound in chains or under the threat of a gun, watching them rape our women or our wives. So I said, well, would you, we got into the conversation like, well, now, would you let somebody just walk into your house unannounced, without you bound, rape your wife, stand there and look at you and dare you to do something? Any Black man would be like, you're dead on the right. You're dead. You're dead
before you even get a foot in it.
Right. So and that's part of that's part of the mental conditioning and the systemic conditioning, because not only am I doing this in front of you to break you down mentally, to make you feel helpless, like it's nothing you could do, I'm also making that woman in her mind devalue you, because now she feels like you can't even protect her. So her respect level for you drops to I don't feel safe with you anymore.
Damn, bro.
And it's all to strip away the masculinity from Black men.
Literally and figuratively.
Yes.
Literally and figuratively.
Chopping the, oh my gosh.
Yes. That's why, and that leads to the point of why a lot of the men were castrated. Because once you cut that line, I don't care how you try to mix it, it's black. It's black in there. Yeah. That line is cut forever. And they were trying to preserve white race. So I got to cut your stuff off so you can't create more of yourself, so that you don't intermingle with this over here. Until enough of y'all is conditioned and trained in this way of thinking that y'all wouldn't dare buck the system. Y'all just going to go with it as it is. And that's the conditioning and the brainwashing that I'm referring to.
Yeah.
We got to know that. That's the stuff that we got to know and understand.
I knew you were saying it, but it still hurts every single time I hear it.
It does. No, it does. In fact,
they had a strategic plan on how they was going to do this to us.
Yeah.
It was genocide. It was basically genocide. If you want to look at it, if you really want to call it that, that's what it was. But it wasn't necessarily genocide in the fact of killing. They did a whole bunch of killing. We know that.
It was a mental breakdown, the mental
control. It was all about control.
Exactly. It was all about mind control, to the fact where, like you said, a person wouldn't dare go against the grain because they just knew that wasn't the way, because that's what they've been conditioned to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason you had to hide. We had to hide who we were as a people. We couldn't comfortably sing our songs and do our dances and eat our food.
Why?
All it had. All that had to be done in private.
And we're inherently stronger, like I said, based off of our lineage, our lines, where we come from. So the fact that I told you I watched it today. I said I wasn't going to, and I watched it finally today. The fact that you have a black man in public with his strength, his heritage, and you're killing him in public. You're showing it. It's a public humiliation of
Yes.
inhumane
It was a
treatment.
lynching. It was equal to lynching.
100%.
Right? It's recorded. They don't care. They don't have enough evidence. That's what they're saying. Literally, that's what they're saying. They don't have
not enough evidence. And there's multiple videos, multiple streams of audio that show the same thing. But it's not enough evidence. It's not criminal evidence.
One of my mans that I talked to today who was really upset. Like I said, we've been on phone calls all day.
Yeah.
He called me up and said, if you look at his eyes, he actually looked like it was some type of demonic look or an emptiness there. The fact that you can keep your knee on somebody's neck the entire time that you did that for. Let's not forget, 30 seconds is a long fight. We haven't been in fights in years, okay? Let's not get it twisted. But if you mix in longer than 30 seconds, it gets tiring. Like, yo, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you are consciously aware that you're putting pressure on this person's throat, knowing, and remember, first responders, they have to treat they have to protect. My dad's a cop, man. I know all these fucking rules.
Yeah.
That public humiliation is the thing that kills me.
Yep.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say this, and I'm not even qualified to speak on this. You two are, and I want to hear what y'all have to say. If I was with my wife or my girlfriend at that point, and I hate this because I don't like when people say this is what they would do. I hate it when they say that. I had a gun drawn on me 5 years ago, and I said, go ahead and fucking shoot me, right? And I called my mom up and my dad hysterical. If I witnessed that and I saw my youngin' going off, I would calmly push her back and I would give her a hug and a kiss. And I would say, Pop, you got 2 seconds to fucking, before I knew I would have to do. And like I said, that's easier said than done. But I think at this point, all three of us are now pushed there to go there mentally to give us that mental boost. I'm not going to say strength to go ahead and do what needs to be done. But the thing is, y'all got kids. Like, what's that consequence that we willing to weigh with that? Like, we know if we do that, we're going to get shot. One of my other dudes hit me today, bro, and said, yo, if we carrying a gun, Patton, because we are licensed to carry, and I shoot that cop to get him off, are we going to jail? I said, no, we're going to die.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, we're not going to jail. No,
we're not going to jail. We're going to die 100%. And being a man that is licensed to carry, you have to walk around with that burden of knowing that.
Yeah. And the other part is, before you even get to pull the trigger, if you're brandishing, like if they can see the weapon,
I ain't gonna go there with that.
Finished, yeah. Like it's.
But that messes me up mentally, especially if I push the cop out the way and then I tackle the dude and knock him off. I know something bad is gonna happen after that. I hope they shoot in my head. See, this is what I mean. Look how we are in our heads. I hope they shoot me once or twice, someplace where I can recover. I didn't say I hope they tackle me, and I'm not even going to put this show on right now because we're on a show right now. That's just how I'm thinking. Like, God, I'm gonna get hit.
No, they're gonna use lethal force. That's what they.
Hope they shoot me someplace where I can hit them.
That's literally what they're hoping on, making it an event. So they're hoping that someone reacts that way, so they can then we got another one.
Now, if those same protesters, our Caucasian counterparts, if they were the ones to intervene, might go a little bit differently.
So, I 100% agree.
And Donte, Patton's been saying this, and it comes from the most humble place in his heart, and I'm not even being funny. It goes to empathize, you have to experience to a certain degree sometimes. It's not saying I want people to be in pain because that's not a person of love. That's not a Jesus principle. That's not a biblical principle. But as the kingdom that we're under, we have to protect ourselves. And they're in the kingdom. Maybe they got to get in the mud too. And it sucks because people we all are on social media.
Yeah.
We see people putting up posts. We see white people talking about how this isn't right. We see black people saying this isn't right. But to empathize, and I think I don't want to use that word to create a divide.
Yeah.
A divide. But we're all educated now. Don't use that word around us.
Can't
Use that word around us. Because women go through the things that we can't empathize with. We can only support them in the way they need us to support them on.
Right.
That goes for white women. That goes for black women too. The black women's injustices with jobs and pay cuts, it's a little bit worse than ours. Or is it better? I don't even know.
It's better.
It's better. So but what do we both struggle with that we can claim we want to empathize with, but we can't? What's the common thing there? Do we know one or no? Because that's all I'm saying is it's 3 black men on here. So we're saying you can't empathize with us. But women have had people, cops have ran up and shot them too. We just saw one last week.
Sure.
It's on a different scale and magnitude because it's a black man thing.
Right.
And I'm just saying black men can empathize with black women specifically now, with some of the things that they go through that we think we can relate to.
Right.
Empathy is a very, very strong word. So make sure you have your usage of the word correct.
Yeah.
And as a black man, what we've been traumatized with, the inhumane stuff we've been through, the mental degradation that we've gone through, the systemic genocidal, it's heavy. And we're seeing it still now 500 years later.
Yeah.
And it creates that divide with, Pat, I ain't gonna go there with it.
Go ahead, you can.
I'm not, because we're gonna end this and talk about strategy because
Okay.
Why you like that?
Okay. Listen.
All I'm saying is this. I'm gonna go in and say it, and I'm gonna give y'all both the floor for 5 minutes before we talk about the next strategic plan. Because the next strategic plan, we talk about it. We'll talk about it right after this. But all I'm gonna say is this: based off that humiliation that we've been put under, the spitting on our ancestors, the disrespectful spitting that these people have done to us, that is disrespecting them in our lives, the castration, the tarring, the feathering, the chestnut rodding, the raping our women, the beating of us, the having lynches, the picnic, the word picnic I don't want to use.
Yep.
Is the reason why that independent movement happened with Beyonce. I don't want to say that. But it's not. I'm not going to.
You got to clarify that, bro. You got to clarify. You done said it already. Now, what's that independent movement about? What is that?
How they might not need a black man. Now, it's not even about the men they choose. That's their prerogative. Everybody makes choices and they have to live with their decisions. There are good men out there. I don't think nobody's inherently bad. You just are a process of the choices you've made.
Right. Now, okay. So I'm gonna jump on that one.
Okay, go ahead. But what I am saying is, I think all that has led to this divide between us to a certain degree with that independent movement. But it comes from all of that long line of pain that men have been through. Everything comes back to us as black men. Everything. Go ahead, Pat. All right, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna come back to that point, but you said it. So when you look at all the issues that plague the community, the young people going crazy, the crime and the violence and all of this, all the problems, you could trace them right back to black men. Every single problem. I hate to say it like that, but it's true. But speaking on that independent movement, it is like
it's heavy, bro.
Because it's a subconscious, subtle way of saying.
Let's say subtle, because we don't know what it's subconscious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's subtle because it's not overt because women will argue with it.
And subconsciously, we don't even know what conscious is yet. That's why there's thousands of books on it, because we don't even know. The brain can't study itself and figure it out yet. I'm gonna leave that alone. But go ahead.
No, you're right. It's a subtle way to say we don't need men, but the subtlety of it is more so to say we don't need black men because that's not something that white women generally say or experience. That's not their dynamic in their relationships with white men. It's not that dynamic that we don't need. I mean, sure, they have some level of independence. They've done well for themselves. Fine.
So it's not the black woman's fault that they feel that way.
It's not their fault that they feel that way.
Not.
But they've participated in that without knowing what was really behind it.
So have we, though.
What do you mean?
As men, we've participated in things that we know we shouldn't have done, too. That's all I'm saying.
No. But I'm saying, but you're saying that we know we shouldn't have done. They didn't know. They participated in it, not knowing what the real underlining goal was.
That's fair.
That's
That's just a lack of knowledge about what's.
That's all. That's all it was. It's to say I don't need you, and that further allows them to devalue us as okay. Well, yeah, we can put them in jail. They don't need us. Oh yeah, they can be single moms. They can raise these boys on their own. But now we seeing
because they've been talking to dirtbag niggas the whole time. Sorry for saying niggas. I know your mom listens to this.
But then even that's systemic because when you looked at the videos, who were the guys? Who were the guys that looked appealing? The dudes on the corner that drawers sticking out, that had all the money and dirty fingernails and all of that.
That going in.
No, because that's what was portrayed. And me and Dev was talking about it, Don. Think about it. Think of them 90s movies. In the offices that wanted to rap to the whoever the leading chick was that was bad. He was always some nerdy, corny, stalker looking boy. But he had all the money. But who did they go for? The playboy, the concert promoter, the street dude, the drug dealer.
Hold on, Patton, because I know you're not gonna forget what you're gonna say, Donte. What were you gonna say? Because Patton been on this.
He brought up the movie. He brought up the movie aspect, and if you go back and look at all the black cinema movies,
yes,
it's that storyline.
Yes,
you go back there.
I'm not gonna say it consciously. I'm just gonna say
all those movies. What it showed it. It was no other way.
That's what we was programmed to see. That's what was feeding us. That was what we're programmed.
Yes.
That's what we're consuming, food. That's our mental food that we've been putting on, and that's what we became to the general public. And that area of attack, not trying to get too deep, and that's fear. There's thousands. I'm not gonna say thousands. I'll say there's 20 spheres that have systematically targeted black men.
Mm.
But then that's one little sphere in the 90s that we knew. That okay, that's that focus, and then there's another one, and there's another sphere, there's another one. Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead real quick.
Yeah, no, and I mean it's true, and it was always a corny suck up bull. It was rare that you had one that was a CEO, one that ran
like us three.
Us three. Always somebody working for
a real boss.
Like, come on,
a real legal boss.
Yes. So all of that stuff is designed, and you know that when we watch and we see this stuff in film, that's the stuff we try to create that reality.
So what does a new movie need to look like?
A new movie needs to look like brother is the CEO. Is somebody else who's a partner or a lawyer or an ad exec or whatever.
And what's the youngin? What's the youngin? Is she? We're not going to flip this completely and make the youngin some broke down youngin and nothing like that.
That's what I said. She's an ad exec. She up there. She well to do, and she trying to see what's up with the boss. And
then what happens when they get together?
The boss is like, listen, if you gonna join this team, then we got to take over some stuff. We gonna set up a whole nother business and leave some people to run that. We gonna make money off of this one. You down or what? That need to be the storyline, but that ain't gonna be popular.
What do you think, Don?
It's crazy because they tried. They really tried to make that movie. They already tried.
They did?
But what did they have to do? They had to make it toxic and contaminated with making our people believe that drugs is the way to be successful. Did either one of y'all see Superfly?
The original or the newer one that you brought up?
New one. The one that just came out.
No.
Peep game. In that movie, Superfly was a drug dealer. Mm-hmm. But the way he presented himself, the way he lived, the way he moved was moves of a boss. The way that a black man should do. He took that dirty money and made it clean. Mm-hmm. His shorty ran an art gallery.
Oh, that's kind of sweet.
Mm-hmm. So she ran an art gallery.
Reputable.
Exactly. Something that, is profitable, credible black business. Right. But the only thing was you had to throw the stigma of drugs into it to show. So it's like they know.
Why do we do that?
They know what's the right thing to do. Like black empowerment, seeing, brothers be real bosses legally. Mm-hmm. Like you sitting here with 3 men that have legal businesses that are bosses and don't have to answer to nobody. But that's a problem. That's a problem to some people because they're not willing. All right, I'm gonna ask both of y'all. How many people told y'all couldn't do what y'all believed in and didn't support it?
Oh man, too many.
Are you kidding me?
I already know. I already know from that. We had that conversation, so I already know.
Excuse me, my fiance at the time, my ex is like,
My whole ex just didn't support him. Like, and that goes back to that we don't need him. And look at him now. Like, he's a goat to me. Like that, y'all, Pat. And that, when I talk about y'all, I refer to y'all as the goats. Like
the goats.
When people say like they got OGs, like no, like I have real OGs that put me on to generational wealth. Like my kids' will be rich.
Yeah.
Yeah. And believe it or not, Donte, not Dom. I was about to mention Dom, and I already have mental problems already with names that are similar. Me and Patton are already going through this for you and your child.
Yes.
So we're struggling, and you already know how I feel about the Avengers. You've seen Infinity Endgame, right?
Yeah.
You have, bro.
Yeah, I saw it.
Patton is holding that whole building up right now, trying to make sure Rocket and War Machine can get out of that joint. He already has that on him. I just got mentally punched the fuck all the way over here by Thanos. And I'm knocked out. You know what I mean? Because that's what we will subject ourselves to, right? And you are now because you're a father. You're a dad. And I know you'll do the same thing to make sure your family and your kids are going to be prepared too. So that's all I'm saying is, I know you said that and we'll take those compliments, but you know we love you like a brother. But we're both putting ourselves through that, subjecting ourselves to this anguish, figuring this stuff out. All this because we want your son and we want you to be able to do that. So I'm just saying thank you for saying that. But we know we got a job to do and you got a job to do too. Facts. And as Black men, we now, us three, this triangular trade, not to get too deep with it, we have to figure out how we can change the narrative. Mm-hmm. You don't change the narrative through effing talking anymore. We change the narrative through talking about a plan and implementation of it. That's it right now. That's it. Therefore, we need to do research on next steps. Yes, I talked about it yesterday. We have to have a strategic plan that's influencing, but I'll go to the Holy Trinity again, which is, you said Martin Luther King's principles, the civil rights principles, the Black Panther movement principles and the philosophies of that. And then what was the other one you said, Pat?
Black Wall Street.
Yeah, my bad. The Black Wall Street. We got to win our neighborhoods back. Community involvement.
Yes.
Starting your own LLC, which Donte has done. Leveraging that.
Yes.
Education, which we're trying to do. Like my man Troy just called me up yesterday, said, yo, I got something I want to do. How do I do this? I'm just going to send him my PowerPoint I've done. You know what I mean? And then he'll join us later. My man Donte said, yo, I qualify for a loan. Not putting his business out there. And I said, Donte, I think I meant Dom.
Oh.
Not putting his business out there. He qualified for some money. And he was like, yo, how do I get it? Basically, I'm not going to put his business out there. I said, oh, bro, I already went through all that. Just go. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like I said, we all have a job to do. Yeah. But we all got to make sure we are coming together. And this is our closing point. We all have to make sure we're coming together, guys. Checking in on each other. Being a support system. But also coming together with strategic responsibilities that we all need to be implementing because that's where our lane calls us to be. Mm-hmm. And if two of us are in the same lane, that shit better pop.
Got to.
Like shit like that. So that's why I'm so happy that you came on here, Dom. Damn it, Dom.
It's cool. Me and Dom even do that.
All right, then I don't put it back. That's strange. That's your name. How you gonna call somebody else your name?
We do it all the time.
I won't judge. I don't want people to judge me, but it's heavy. And I think I'm happy right now because I think Patton and Donte and I think we touched on a lot safely because I was scared because like I said, people see me like this. Oh, here it is. I'm always like happy-go-lucky. Hey, Dev. But in meetings, I'm super serious and I'm super thinking and I'm super observant. And Patton is kind of like this quiet all the time, right? Chilling, like this type of thing. But behind the scenes, Patton be snapping sometimes like, yo, Pat, I don't know if we can, yo, Pat, you got to chill. I don't know if we can go that. So I like how we angled this, at least this first phase. And I don't mind talking about this for the next week or so. They don't want to hear it. They don't have to listen.
Yep. Not
If
at
you
all.
want the male's perspective, the man and the male's perspective from 3 different points, even when Lopez comes in here 4, when Dave comes on here 5, understand it through us and saying we're not pushing away any help. We're just saying the onus is on us to get it fucking fixed. So do what we tell you to do, because we're the ones that have spent time thinking about it as black men that have been subjected to this trauma systemically and personally without personal truth that is actually the objective truth, because we're seeing it displayed right now.
Yep.
I'm going to leave it alone. Closing words, Don?
Pretty much covered it all, but all I'm gonna say is, like you said, as a black community, I'm gonna just leave it on. We don't need a drastic event to unify as a people. We were born unified, but we gotta get that unity back. But it's up to us to get it, like you said. So stop making excuses, and it's time to put the work in it. We've been working. The work never stopped. It never stopped. But shout out, and let me give a shout out to Dame from Mastery. Shout out to Dame. I've been talking to little bro a lot, and he's trying to figure out a way to get his young brothers to stop being so ignorant to the fact of what's going on. And he's legit. He calls me like, bro, I need advice, bro.
Black
What
Day?
can I read? Yup. He matured a lot. He was wilding. He knew he was wilding. He grew up a lot.
He's just goofy. You know what I mean?
He was just a goofy young boy. But everybody was a goofy young boy at one point. And he grew up. And I just shout out to Dan for stepping up and becoming the young black male and wanting to be another, voice to the youth, not just for the youth, but to them and teaching. Shout out to Dame. But like y'all saying, like we've been saying, it's been go time, but it's up to us to lay out the blueprint. Because these so-called leaders, these so-called activists, everybody can say what's wrong. We all can say what's wrong. Now, how do we fix it? What's the strategic? Where do we go? Where do we start?
And let's figure it out. But
And that's the figure out part.
Shout out to you, though, because like I said, this is a line, too. Me and Patton's older than me, but I consider me and Patton in the same, we're here. Mm-hmm. We're learning stuff so we could drop it down a level to you. And then you got to drop it down a level to him. You know what I mean? So this is the line that we have to do. We have 100%. To get one level below us, and they got to do their job, and they got to do their job, and they got to do theirs. So, everybody, like I said, we're gonna keep talking about this stuff. If you don't like it, tough. It don't matter. We'll talk basketball stuff too. But as 3 black men that are going through the mental health problems that we're going through, the taxing stressors of what it's doing to not just us 3, but to people across the country. I had calls from all over the country today. I'm not playing. I had 8 calls. 8. I had family members and friends. Oh my gosh, bro. And these are, so all I'm going to say is thank you for listening. Pat, I'm going to give you the closing word, but spread this podcast. And if you want to get the real perspective, we're not being mean. We're just being accountable as black men and what we need to do. Listen to what we're saying. I'm going to go ahead and just say that shit. Listen to what us 3 are saying, because we're traumatized by this. We are hurt. But we also are saying, okay, I'm not going to wallow in this pity. I'm going to take this pain and let's figure some stuff out. And a blessing, I think, came to us today, Don. And we'll tell you more about that later, okay? We're going to keep that under the rock because there's no point of talking about it until we execute that blessing. But I got to figure out your Avengers name because now it's important. The fact that you came on here is important because I have no expectations of people. Only expectation I have of is Patton. I really do. That's pretty much the only person I have expectations on. Nobody else, because Patton's probably my best friend now. And Patton got to do shit because he has an expectation of me, but he also's been listening to my little ass talking like this for probably 10 years now. So I do have an expectation of Pat, right? But we have work to do. Patton, any closing words? Maybe tell some people to give us a 5-star review.
Yeah, you can or you can't. I don't really care at this point, honestly. But,
we got people. We got people in Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Iran. Shout out to them.
I know. Love you guys. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you.
Real over here. It's getting real in USA.
But no, seriously, I would say for anybody, until we figure out how we're going to move and organize and advance so that this stops and that we can bring a real sustainable change, I just ask everybody to continue to pray for Black men across this country. Continue to pray, for our mental health, for our safety. I'm not going to hang this on the doorstep of a Black leader per se, because we had a conversation about that. I think you're still realizing trauma from how Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all of our other leaders were publicly lynched, killed, however you want to say it. There's still trauma and stress from that, and which is why you haven't seen the emergence of a so-called Black leader or Black leaders. You just have a lot of people that are talking and saying what should be done, but nobody's really getting people together to organize. So, just continue to pray for us until we figure this thing out. But it's going to start in movements like this. Like, if it's groups of 3, groups of 5, groups of 10, we got to grow these movements. We got to continue to educate our younger brothers on what the real deal is, what understand your value. You can replace that what you think is the life and look at it from this perspective. So we got a lot of work to do in terms of education, but just continue to pray for us, and we gotta figure this thing out, man. It's time to go to work.
Okay, so you heard it there. Keep us in your prayers and then follow our instructions, because we're called to get this done. Other people are called to get this done. They may not be ready. They might be nervous. It's okay. But us 3 are called to get this done. Keep us in your prayers, please. It's a lot. We got a whole pandemic, job losses, 30 million people unemployed, health insurance, families, pandemics. It's a lot right now. So keep us in your prayers, and we're still going to come out of this strong and figure this out. Everybody, please give us a 5-star review. Spread the word. We love everybody because we're all Christians, but even Christians got to armor up sometimes. And I can't remember that verse, but it said, we got to put that helmet on.
Put on the whole armor.
Yeah, thank you.
Whole armor.
And it's time to armor up. So everybody stay safe. God bless. Thank you for listening to Instant Grits Podcast. Donte.
Big Donte.
King Donte. Even helped me teach a drummer lesson one time. So like I said, Donte's always just shows up when he has time. Take care of your family, Donte. Love you, bro. Stay safe. And
Too,
stay on real quick before I close out. But everybody stay safe. God bless. Love y'all.